Well, hello and welcome, Miss Joanne. I'm a law student from Melbourne. I want to talk about the next due to hit over the shop. Um, Interestingly, I have to work out how to make the subtitles and everything available too. I don't know. I'm still working on how to do that in the settings. I put up a poll, and so far we've got 0 people that are going to watch it. 20% have said no, they're not going to watch it. 25% have said not sure. And 25% have said, can you watch it and report back? I'm trying to see if I can get a free trial of Netflix so I can do that. However, by our own intrepid journalist, Katie Joy, has also talked about this and has been posting incessantly. She's been on 2 topics, Robert Shin and Gypsy, and she's really going hard for people that are talking about Gypsy, because apparently they're besties now, after her little hissy fit the other night. So let's have a look. And she's talked about the fact that she's watched it 10 times, allegedly, she said. She has allegedly said that she's watched it 10 times and she keeps finding out new stuff. So let's have a look at her Instagram. Can I up the screen resolution? I can for you. Sure, I can try and do that. Let's have a look. I've got it on high definition. I've got it on high definition. I've got it on. I think I've got it on highest I can have at the moment. So, and I've just stuffed myself up again. I'm an idiot. What are you saying, hi Katie Joy, for Harrison? I don't know that she's here at all, but anyway. Right, so you can see here, if we look at this, I don't know why people, I dare to find it, I dare to ask. A sample of celebrities that have been charged with, I don't believe, did Michael Jackson get charged? I don't believe he did, but I could be wrong. The sound's terrible. Oh dear. Is it? Hang on. Let me just talk to yourself for a moment. I'll go out and come back in. This mic. Let me try. Put a 1 in chat if this sound is better or worse. And now you can see my background because I've removed the background. I'm just trying to, at the moment, get rid of anything that is going to give me any problems. But you can see my... so you can see the mess that's behind me. So let's have a look. If you think that this bed is better, so is that better? Good. All right. Hopefully we have got everything in place now. Yeah. Oh, look, I'm a lot clearer too. All right. Good. So I've changed the mic. I've changed it from a... Oh, it's cutting in and out. Oh, great. All right. Let me try. What do you think about this one? This is back to the original one I had. Oh. Let me move the mic a little bit closer to me. And hopefully. So there's the microphone right in front of me now. Hopefully you can hear, and I apologize. All right. So we have still got on our, we've got, no one has said they'll be watching. 4% say, 8% say won't be watching. 10% says not sure, and 20% says can you watch it and come back. Okay, you think it's all right? Yeah, I think it's the internet connection. To be honest with you, the internet's shocking. Let's be honest. Australia has some really bad internet. But I actually got rid of the NBN because I was having so much trouble with it. I actually went back to a whatever it was beforehand for the reason of it was easy to deal with. Okay, so when anyone know if Michael Jackson was actually, I don't Jackson ever got charged, but she's saying that that's all SA offenders. Then she's on here about she's trying to prove that Nicholas Godigan, Gypsy's accomplice, was all on his own. Now she's found an interview, so she's going hard, and she's been in the long game. And so here she is, 5 years. She's known Christy for 5 years. And then Gypsy was a defense witness for him, apparently, and she's showing all this stuff. And I don't know why you would actually. Now, here we go. It says Melanie Wilkins happily ever after. So congratulations, Melanie. She did get married over this weekend. Oops, we want to get rid of. I want it to be a full picture. Right. So she says, congratulations to Melanie Wilkins on their marriage. What a beautiful moment for you two. Cheers to a lifetime of happiness and love. I don't understand its okay. Miranda's family say they have no contact with her, but she's posted photos today from the wedding with her. Obviously, there is a lady in the couple. With the documentary being released, I would have thought she would have been more wary of contacting or socializing with her family and would be stopped from doing so. It doesn't make any sense to me. She says, please read my other posts. This is more complex than a public photo. Wary, are you somehow on the side of Robert Shin? If so, I'm not the platform for you. So, in other words, if you actually ask questions, hi, no, I'm not on his. I'm a long-time follower of yours. I like your page immensely. Just confused when I look on Miranda's page. It doesn't appear to show she's in contact with her family. The documentary is coming to England tomorrow, and I will be watching. Just meant my thoughts on your post because I wondered if maybe the situation had changed since the documentary was made. Sending my love to in time they will reunite. So there you go. So I wonder if it's now read this and tell me what your interpretation of this. Shin was served with a 30 million and lawsuit. Now I read that as that. I mean, to be smart, I did say, what a payday, what a great outing. He got served with $30 million and then a lawsuit. Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult, is set to be released on Wednesday, May 29, 2024. Due to my involvement in the series, I was able to watch the series ahead of time. Working on this series was one of the most stressful and emotionally challenging of my life. There are so many jaw-dropping moments in the 3-part docuseries that will leave viewers shocked, speechless, disgusted, heartbroken, and furious. Perhaps the most impactful aspect of this series is that viewers will finally hear Robert Shin's delusional, irate, and abusive sermons and demands of his followers. I mean, I think it's not against the law to be narcissistic either. But anyway, or delusional or irate. This series contains numerous audio clips of Robert from the pulpit demanding dancers sign NDAs, bragging about how the coverage of the story was making him famous, admitting to running a cult, boasting about the amount of money the dancers are bringing into the church and demanding the members see their families to silence them. Closer to the mic? You can't hear me? Okay. I'm fighting a losing battle here, aren't I? Really? This is this is night. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me now. So it contains numerous audio clips of Robert from the pulpit demanding the dancers sign NDAs, bragging about how the coverage of the story was making him famous, bragging about how the coverage of boasting about the amount of money the dancers are bringing into the church, and demanding the members see their families to silence the critics. Amazing. Sir, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just want everything to work. Sorry, I shouldn't. I shouldn't sound like a little actually. Let's see whether this one is better. Hang on. Is this view better? And clearer again? And I might see whether if this is better. If no, better again. All right. So this says, when Miranda Wilkins' family made their post public. When Miranda Wilkins' family made their public video, Robert is heard instructing the dancers to see her. He reminds them that they are only seen to calm public pressure. Families will have no idea they are being cut off. Robert is defending his sexual behaviour and even statements from the pulpit. I need to hear that because verses about naked and will return naked and naked. I'm underwater. Oh really? Oh dear me. Maybe I should just give up. Okay. Oh wait on. Let's try this. Let's try this stuff then. Oh dear. Hi Miranda. I'm really sorry with my mic happened. Okay. So it says, perhaps one of the most powerful moments is watching Robert Shin be served by three people related to a massive lawsuit filed by former members and dancers. Shin had just sat down to eat at a Korean restaurant when three people barged in and slammed down legal papers. All of Robert Shin's claims against critics will be debunked by Robert in his own words from the pulpit. Which is why this series is important for the justice for his victims. So here's the question. Has this lawsuit come from the documentary? Oh, thank you, Miranda. I've switched off a couple of other settings. Hopefully that means that it's all good. Oh dear. Oh. Okay, so it says, just saw pictures of Miranda on Instagram at her sister's wedding, possible family reunion. She says, it's not what it seems. Unfortunately, it's all show. Someone says, read the latest WOACB post. Fashion pics, not family pics, not even of hubs. It is so sad. And Barbara says, I feel as much. Here's the thing. She don't know. So there you go. So apparently they have filmed him being served the legal papers from those people. Isn't that interesting? Was that lawsuit? Robert Shin is now 40s. When they see their face and sometimes videos to post on their social media to make the public happy. Discussing Miranda now. He says, all of a sudden we got a phone from Miranda saying to me, think social or cook, it was all a setup. Which does it make it credible? And again, she keeps saying there's all this evidence. My question is, if she had all this evidence, why wasn't it handed to court? Why was it put all over social media? Yes, so the Wilkin family says now, all of a sudden, we get a phone call from Miranda saying she'd like to. Isn't that what they wanted? They wanted to see her. Then when she sees her, they're going, oh, this is suspicious. We were trying to say things to her about what we were hearing about the pastor. And she said if we're always... And she didn't want to meet us anymore. I don't know which lawsuit it is. I think it was the... I don't know which lawsuit either. Miranda? Is this a new lawsuit for Robert? Or is this... It must be the 30 million one that she referred to. And that's the thing, right? Often you don't want to hear anything bad about stuff. So you say, well, if this is all you're going to talk about, they're not going to come. I mean, I've done it to my family members as well. So yes, so it says, trying to say things to her about what we were hearing about the pastor. And she said that if we were always going to be talking about this, then she didn't want to meet us anymore. Hi, Bo. In fact, Melanie Wilkin shares that Miranda screams at them anytime. And she said that if we are always going to be talking, Miranda has told them that she will not see them if they talk about Robert or the crimes surrounding him. Is that not unreasonable? Additionally, Callie Wilkin reveals that Miranda has asked to audio record a conversation they have with her about the church or Robert, which Callie refuses to allow happen. Interesting that they refuse to allow that to happen. Why? Because it could be used against them. From her mentors and Robert Shin to see her cult monitors members, Miranda is then required to report back anything that happens in meetings to Robert. How does she know? Robert Shin can restrict visits at any time. Miranda can be punished by Robert if she does not follow his instructions. When she returns home, Miranda is then required to post social media. Again, where's the proof for that? In fact, many of the dancers' social media accounts are allegedly managed by church mentors. Oh, didn't Katie Joy tell someone using allegedly doesn't mean a thing? The posts are done to try and trick the public. As a result, Melanie Wilkin does not post photos with her sister on social media because she knows it's only for Robert. Hang on a minute. As a result, photos with her sister on social media because she knows it's only for Robert. Hang on. But she's been painting that with her, and then when she does, she won't put them on. Oh, yeah, this makes no sense. There's no family reunion. Miranda is still under Robert's control. That's right, Miranda. What is one of the dumbest things you do when winning a lawsuit with someone for defamation, keep defaming them without receipts. There's no family reunion. Miranda is still under Robert's control, lives in his housing, and is likely to be paying upwards of 70% of her income directly to Robert and the church. And then someone says, her post about the wedding was so cold, nothing like so happy for my sister and wish her and her husband the best. But just, I had a great time at my sister's wedding, as if it was just a wedding for someone she barely knew. And then someone says, the only dance I've yet to see do anything in relation to his family is Reno. Nick, he's also not as public like the others as well. That scares me a bit for him. And she says, here it is. Miranda was only a guest at the wedding. It was so obvious. It must be difficult for Melanie, Kelly, and Dean to want her in their lives, but have to enforce hard boundaries because of Robert's cult. I want to know whether they've addressed Miranda's statement where she made that she was scared of her dad. Someone says, I no longer see Miranda and James as victims, but as perpetrators. They are narcissists, in my opinion. She was a distraction at Melanie's wedding. And then she says, Miranda is a victim. And then narcissism is a reflection of their leader who protects them. See, so it's not cut off their family, their story in the Netflix documentary. Robert Shin wants everyone to believe that the only family concerned about the loved one is the working family. However, dancer Nicholas Reno parents will share their story of losing their son to an alleged cult. So Magdalena and Lawrence have less success in gaining access to their son, possibly because the public is unaware. No, the docuseries is on tomorrow, Short Order Cooks, 29th. So I was going to... Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, I was thinking subscribe just to watch it and then do a review on it and then put it to bed. But as we'll see, some of the... there's a couple of the reviews that ask some serious questions but have actually said that they should look to be. I'm interested to see whether it's editing or... Because remember, they want to prove that 7M is a cult. Even though I would argue that... Is it 7M that's a cult? Or is it 7M that's a cult? And being in a cult is not against the law. And at the end of the day, they're all adults and are free to make their own decisions. And people have been able to leave. So it says, the parents share their concerns about their son's well-being and concerns that he's being mistreated by members of the alleged cult. I haven't timed you out, Harrison. I don't think I've got... I can't time you out. Robert teaches that people must die to themselves by cutting off everyone and everything from their lives from before they join the church. And here's the other thing. How is this any Jews or Scientologists or a whole lot of, other ones? Members are told that they must limit contact with their families to save them from hell. People to believe that if they remain in contact with their families, that they cannot achieve prosperity or salvation. There are also threats of damnation of families, which means to see their families, they are punished by losing work opportunities and are not invited to church events. The more events are isolated from the group and punished. Magdalena and Lawrence bravely step out, not only to help free their son, but to all inside the group. So she's got all her people. It says, I'm looking forward to seeing the docuseries. I saw Miranda's chance video with her mum and sister for Mother's Day. Have they patched things up? And she says, please see my other posts. Your questions will be answered. Gets away with, get. So then, Yeah, so that's all of. And she did say she's watched it 10 times. 10 times. 10 times. So let's start with the most. So this one is from the Sun. Dancing to the for the devil. I lost my sister to sinister 7M TikTok cult that lures to cure sins but hides sickening abuse. Sister was among those accusing Robert Shin of SA, a new documentary claims. Now already that have been dismissed in court. So hugging sister for the first time in over a year, Melanie Wilkin was shocked by her cold response and the glazed eyes she got in return. The talented pair, who found fame as dancers on TikTok, had been inseparable before Miranda was sucked in to a mysterious religious group which Melanie claims isolated her from family and took over 70% of her online earnings. Now this was the 27th. This one was that's Julianne. I'm having a hard time too. Julianne says, I'm having a hard time with this one as they have interconnected the church to the production company. I still believe it is two separate things. That's what I'm having trouble with too. So Short Order Cook, this is written by Jim Maloney on the 27th of May. Well, the only person I thought that would have used sucked in was Katie Joy, you know. Yes, I know. This is the Sun. Then it says, and worse was to follow when Pastor Robert Shin, the self-made man of God, was behind Shekinah Church in Los Angeles, was accused of SA by many of the. And again, they use a lot of her phrases too. Melanie and her family believe 7M, the company Shin set up to manage the careers of, is actually a cult. And they have been fighting to get Melanie out of Shin's clutches since she joined in autumn 2020. Again, we've started off by talking about up here. We're talking about sucked into a mysterious religious group. Are they now saying that 7M is now a religious organisation? This is where it's going to get hard. However, I'll also tell you why I believe this muddied water would benefit Katie Joy in the lawsuit, by the way. And it pains me to say it. All right. Melanie and her family believe in a new Netflix documentary mounted with her sister after a dance show which left her devastated. I hugged her after a wall. She was just stiff. I told her she looked great and was doing so well, but she was just cold. She'd changed completely. I felt she was half of me. I felt she was half of. That's a really bizarre statement. Maybe she just. Miranda and I knew we always wanted to be part of. Dance wanted to be part of our lives, says Melanie, who had a happy childhood in Detroit, Michigan, with Loving and Sally and Dean. Exactly. That was my thought. Short Order Cook. I thought it sounded like Joy. I mean, it might have someone's name. It's very interesting. There is a couple though that, as I said, I would. Anyway, that's why I wanted to share them because they're very similar. Growing up, Miranda was incredibly talented and creative. And as her little sister, that was something I wanted to do. I just wanted to be like her. In dance competitions, performing together, and when Miranda moved to California to pursue her dreams, Melanie later joined her, auditioning, touring, and doing music videos. Miranda says, the only thing I hear is my feelings are not basis for a lawsuit. As social media grew, particularly when TikTok was launched, and they created the Wilkins sisters. Julian said, not if it can be proven in fusion. She's the source after all for the information. Correct. The church is not a party to the lawsuit, okay? Here's where it gets interesting. Okay? Because the church is not a party to the lawsuit Shin took out with Katie Joy. Anything that has been for as part of the church, part of it, could be deemed not defamatory on a technical issue because Shekinah Church is not a party to the lawsuit. It's a very small party, right? Because, I mean, and if she had any brains, that would have been, she could have, that would have been her defense. This is in regard to the church, and the church is not party to the lawsuit. That's all she needed to say. As I said, it's a very small technicality. But anyway, so let's read this article. The thing is, this confusion is set to muddy the waters, and you'd have to show, that they would either have to show that they're connected, or show that they're not connected. Social media grew, the girls became popular online, particularly the Wilkins sisters brand, posting dance videos and fun blogs with them, chatting, having fun in each other's company, and doing DIY together. When we got a manager and saw the money that was going to be made in this industry, there was no looking back, says Melanie. The online dance community in California was tight, and Miranda started dating the talented James Derrick, known as B-Dash. Through another dancer named Isaiah, James was introduced to his pastor, Robert Shin. James and Robert became very involved with his life, says Melanie. Miranda naturally joined this church so she could be with James. Worried her sister was spending more and more time at the home of Pastor Robert Shin, as their once inseparable relationship was unravelling, Melanie Wilkin decided to find out what was going on. Oh, so the problem was Miranda was spending more time with the church and her boyfriend than she was with Melanie. Okay. I talked to Miranda at the end of the day, and she would say she had been at the house with James, her boyfriend, having dinner and reading the Bible, says Melanie. We didn't grow up very religious, and Miranda and I had always thought, one time, let me check it out. In autumn 2020, with Miranda already committed to the church, Melanie went to Shin's house for dinner. Robert sat at the head of a long table, and after we had dinner, he asked me if I'd consider myself a sinner. I said, I don't think so. And he replied, what if I told you that you had already? Is this what she's saying makes him a cult? I had no idea what to say. Then he said that if I died right now, I'd go to hell, but he would help me. The next thing, we sat in a circle holding hands with Robert's seat in the middle. He put his hand on my head and everyone was kind of speaking in tongues. Then he said I was saved. I thought it was weird, but my sister I looked up to were there, so I thought, okay, maybe this is a thing. So this is, okay, all right. Melanie started to join the others in attending the pastor's services at the Shekinah Church in Los Angeles, but she broke away after Robert's daughter Chloe called her one day when she was unable to attend his sermon off a friend. She says, I've spoken to the pastor and he really needs you to hear his words today. What are the chances you can get an Uber to the airport for your friend and you come here right now? I thought it was really weird. Maybe Melanie didn't make the cut, Julian. I mean, based on what the Sun is saying, what I'm reading, that, but I thought it was really weird to put pressure on me, and I said no, I'm not going to do that. Then I was never going back. That was not for me. However, the decision, along with Miranda's to stay with the church, tore the Wilkin family apart. Miranda cut off ties, causing suffering and heartbreak which exists this day, and of SA and brainwashing started. So Miranda found religion, Melanie didn't, and they really said, we think you should be at church today. She said, nah, not really. And so she's not going back. Okay. At the moment, based on what I've read there, I don't see anything wrong with that. But, let's have a look. As more dancers began to attend his church sermons, Shins listened to James talking about the difficulty promoting dance videos and suddenly announced, you know what? I'm going to start a management company and I'm going to call it 7M. Shin's promise to make them rich was the lure to many of the young dancers into his ever-tightening grip on their life. I thought Melanie was supposed to be part of 7M, but she was part of the church. Okay. Then they were given rooms in one of his hall complete with studios and rehearsal rooms. The videos attracted more attention and landed some of them lucrative advertising deals. But former followers claim they never saw any riches. According to the documentary, minimal salary was paid into their accounts and then withdrawals would be taken for rent, 20% management fee to 7, at least 30% to various aspects of the Shekinah Church, including to the man of God, Robert Shin. This could amount to 70% deductions in a salary. I cannot find a writer at the Sun newspaper called Jim Maloney. Yeah, well, that's what it says. I mean, maybe she's writing under a thingo. Hang on, let me scroll back up again. It's Jim Maloney. All right, what I want you to tell me is, so far, what have you read? What we've read. Does that sound any like... what I'm seeing here, and I'm really trying to keep an open mind here, I'm not seeing anything that says kike at the moment. Former member Caborn Priscilla Lee claims they make it look like you are paid entities, but it's all going to Robert. Again, you'd have to have finance records to prove that. Darker claims about Robert Shin are also made by others, including Priscilla Lee. One might be a slight mix-up. Jim Maloney is not associated with the Sun, however, I can provide information about it. All right, cool. Okay. In 2008, showed when half a dozen girls, including his sister Catherine, came barging in, pointing at him and shouted, "Yes, aid me, Melanie Stock." Robert was been soliciting sexual favours from different women. Again, it says that there's more about being a scoundrel is, again, not and necessarily illegal. Said, you need to pay for this. You are not the man of God. He asks everyone's forgiveness, saying he's also human and struggles with temptation. Many in the congregation left, but others stayed. Okay, if it was a cult, how come many of the girls could leave? Because you can't leave cults. And affairs, again, is not illegal. However, there came further allegations of him demanding massages from women while he was naked, encouraged closer to his groin, till it ended in sexual gratification. I mean, like, he would just show up in my room whenever he wanted and do whatever he wanted to, Priscilla claims. And his wife, Hannah, came in one day and beat me. After leaving the order... Oh, now it's an order. The Lee sisters began collating illegal financial transactions lawsuit. Now, that's the one that they lost. They lost that one. Says, I think blaming it on religion is just a convenient excuse for Melanie. I don't think she wants to admit that she didn't like what the management company wanted of her to make her more marketable. The thing is, Bo, she hasn't mentioned the marketing company. She had church. So Her interaction was just with the church. So, all right. So now here's the brainwashing part. As Miranda became increasingly distant from her family, the girl's beloved grandfather passed away in 2021. 30 minutes before we were leaving for the airport to go to his funeral, Miranda said she rang to say she had COVID and couldn't come, says Melanie. It was so strange, I said. This has nothing to do with it. Glenn says, sounds like members of the church approached him for assistance in careers. He obliged, created a company to manage them, just like any management company. Some clients are more successful. Correct. Though she had COVID, so Miranda rang to say she had COVID and couldn't come, and she's saying it had nothing to do with COVID. Subsequent messages to Miranda and James went unanswered as she cut off all contact. Well, do we have COVID? Wasn't COVID around in 2021? Increasingly worried, Carolee and Dean managed to track her down in California and briefly kept saying she would have asked if she could come to the funeral, says her, that she had to get permission when she kept saying that she would have to ask if she could come to the funeral, says Dean. When we asked who she had to get permission from, she said somebody closer to God than you, and it triggered my head. But the family were determined to get their daughter back. As Melanie's heartbreak in December 2021, Kelly and Dean also managed to meet her when they told her that they had something important to say. Miranda came up walking, looking to see if everything was okay. She asked me what I had to say, says Kelly. I started to ask if she had any problems that she wanted to talk to us about, and she got up and said, is that it? I've got to go. And she walked out. Her eyes glazed over. I felt she didn't love it. But former church member Kylie Douglas claims, I know from being here with her, she'll cry sometimes because of how much she misses her family, and would say to me, I do want to see them, but Robert is saying it's not a good idea, she tells the documentary. Miranda was upset and did miss them and loved them, but she's being brainwashed. Kelly reached out to other parents who were experiencing the same trauma of losing contact with their children, and the family posted a video online on February 2022 titled Robert Shin. They publicly announced it was Miranda's birthday, but they say they were not allowed to contact her because his organisation, now we're back to an organisation, had forbidden it. The dancers at Shekinah 7M, now we've got it, also saw the video and began to quietly question whether they were being controlled. They knew that Robert had told them to cut their families out of their lives so that he could save them and they to heaven. Robert and Hannah Shin did not respond to requests for comment. A civil case against Shin, brought by several dancers, is set to go to trial in 2025. Robert and his co-defendants deny any claims against him. No criminal charges have ever been brought against Shin, and he has denied any member of Shekinah of 7M. Now, that's really important. Robert told them Miranda left of her own choice and that the parents were wrong. He told them Miranda left of her own choice and that her parents are wrong. Miranda? Or are they talking about Melanie? He allegedly, now several people are coming forward with claims that Robert and the church saying it's a cult. While many left, Miranda stayed and continued posting dance videos along with messages seemingly relaxed and happy, denying it was a cult. When other parents started to see their child, he told them they must see their families occasionally and to cut them off undercover without. All of a sudden, we got a phone call from Miranda saying she'd like to meet us tomorrow. We were trying to say things to the pastor, and that if we were always going to be talking about this, then she didn't want to meet us about it, and we haven't talked about it since. Melanie adds, now we see her from time to time, but I think it's all for show. It's just so she can take a video and put it online, and then the public is happy, and so is Robert. And from people saying how nice it is to see Miranda liking my posts again. but it's not even close to the relationship we had before. I wouldn't call it a relationship. Any encounter we've had with her is superficial. Now that's it. Now that but here's the thing. Now that Melanie's married, for example, right? Is she going to be in her parents' pocket every single day, or is she going to want to get on with her life? In the meantime, the Wilkin family are determined to bring a criminal case for the SA and abuse. You can't bring a criminal case, if there's and what's that got to do with the Wilkin family? They've got, that hasn't happened to them. They've encouraged several Wilkin statements to police. He has denied all charges and no arrest has been made, and he continues to run his church and management company. Robert and Hannah Shin did not respond to requests. So I miss my sister so much. I still love her, but it feels so different. Like it was Miranda and I'm alone. You're not alone. You've got your husband. And this is like how to stay safe from cults. Cope with stress. When stress is getting the best of us, we often are more likely to be seduced by someone saying, be afraid to ask questions. Be wary of anyone who tries to discourage or prevent you from questioning. Katie Joy, you discourage anybody from questioning. Learn common cult recruitment tactics. Be wary of people who are excessively or inappropriately friendly. People with invitations to free meals or lectures and workshops. People who pressure you to do something. People who are vague or evasive. People who claim to be just like you. People who can confidently claim that they can help you solve your problems. People who make grand claims about saving mankind, or maybe people who promise quick solutions. People who claim they are, or their group, are really special. Arrogance is more common. Right, so that's from the Sun, okay? Let's look at the next one. One says, right, I should have done it the other way. I'm hoping that you're hearing me a lot better now. I'm hoping that everything's okay. As I said, I switched off. I think I worked out what the problem was, which is good. This one is, where is Robert Shin? The controversial part behind the 7M TikTok cult. Netflix Dancing for Devil includes allegations by Amber O'Connor, dated the 27th. Okay, so it talks about, it's sure to have true crime fan script. It tells the story of a young group of dancers, including Miranda Wilkin, now Miranda Derrick, who signed up to a management company but run by Robert Shin, a self-proclaimed man of God who also preached at a private, invite-only church called Shekinah. Miranda's family, including sister Melanie, also have since claimed she's been held captive by a religious cult and shared their fears for her safety after contact reduced to nothing for months, sentient alarm bells ringing. Miranda, who insists otherwise, has refused to confirm claims she's in a cult. And now maintains a tap in their eyes, something they believe is Miranda simply acting on the advice of Shin in the hopes of throwing curious online detectives off the scent of the cult. What I'm really interested in is that all of this is the same narrative Katie Joy has been spewing. The cult in question is led by an entertainment. He's both the mastermind behind 7 Stars, boasts millions of followers. Shin success for the hopefuls signed up to his company, but the Netflix docuseries asks at what cost. In recent years, several disturbing allegations hated by the Wilkin family. In 2023, 3 dancers sued Shin, adding those who have accused the talent manager. Oh, really? Are these in short order? So where are these writers coming from? Are they all Katie Joy pseudonyms? Are they all Katie Joy pseudonyms? It says, Others have also accused Shin of sexual and financial coercion. 7M and Shekinah Church in California, what they appear to be. Shekinah is a cult operating under the guise of a religious institution, according to claimants in a lawsuit between Shin and a church dancers and church members. That is what is actually written, as we saw in the court documents section, operating under the guise of a religious institution. The church aspect, company act. So what is the Shekinah Church? 7M Films, who's Robert Shin. So 7M Films was reportedly in 2021 by Robert Shin of Shekinah Church in LA. Not much is known about either the church or management firm, save for the accusations made by former members, many of whom belong to both the church and entertainment firm. While Shekinah Church does not appear to have an active social media presence, 7M Films boasts both a website and an Instagram page. 7M Films is a LA-based talent management company representing some of the top social media influencers in the world. Since founded in 2021, the collective social media following of our client 8 to 10.42 million. 7M client roster includes professional dancers, actors, models, and music industry professionals. But little is shared beyond these details and contact information, including the firm's email address and Instagram account. How apply to be represented join the church remains unclear, but for some who appear in Dancing for the Devil, alleged that by the church, which first began in the 90s, was invite only. Again, it's alleged. I'd like to see proof. A post on 7M's Instagram page, the only post to date, and I've got that here. Here's the 7M one post, and it says here, it says this is the official statement of 7M due to legal and ethical obligations. This will be our first and only post on this matter. And engagements have been restricted. We thank you for your continued support. This is where it says that 7M Films is a talent management company from a series of collaborations between a video director named Isaiah Shin and a group of talented dancers who felt they were spending too much time of their creative energy focused on business deals that often went unfulfilled and unpaid without proper representation. The dancers felt like the industry was taking advantage of them. The dancers knew that Isaiah's father, Dr. Robert Shin, was a respected businessman and asked if he could help with their business so they could focus on the creative side. Influencers on 7M roster have grown from 3 million Instagram followers to 11 million. No, this was not put out as a press release. This is from 7M. Netflix hasn't put out a press release at all. Cosmopolitan shared it as a statement that 7M had made. It is true that CEO of 7M, Dr. Robert Shin, is also the pastor of Shekinah Church. It is a business affiliation between the two entities. The Shekinah Church and 7M are run and operated separate and apart from each other. It is quite common for a person of faith to own and operate one or more secular for-profit businesses. You do not have to be a member of the Shekinah Church to be represented by 7M, nor do you have to be represented by 7M to be a member of the Shekinah Church. Any claims to the contrary are wrong. Shekinah Church is a church that was formed in 1994 and reporting in the press has nothing to do with the Seven Mountain Mandate. 7M has no affiliation with the Seven Mountain Mandate. The M in the 7M Films refers to a millennium, a fact which is well documented in its business filings. Instagram page. So we come back to here, which Cosmopolitan actually shared. Okay. So they shared that. So it says the statement continues. Yeah. So little is known about Shin has been up to since the allegations surfaced about him. However, he did speak out when Miranda Derrick's family went public with their allegations in 2022. In a statement, a spokesman for 7M and Shin told Daily Mail, the false and sensational allegations about 7M stem directly Oh, hi, short order. Sorry, I'm still on about the Sun article because it sounds like KJ. um, so Shin spoke about dancer Miranda. Despite her family's claims, Miranda is a businesswoman and a loving watch about her family. It is pathetic and contemptible. Try and turn her public family matters into a tawdry clout. The spokesman added, while recent portrayals of Dr. Robert Shin and 7M films have been wildly offensive and riddled with inaccuracies, will not deter 7M from supporting Miranda in whatever endeavours she chooses to pursue next. Netflix documentary makers say Robert Shin Shekinah did not respond to requests. The series concludes, no criminal charges have been against Shin. He has previously denied saying any member of Shekinah or any client of 7M. The civil lawsuit is ongoing. Robert co-defenders deny the charges against him. The case is set to go to trial in 2025. So this is what's interesting. States that nothing's happened. So then we've got another article. This one's from... So let's get this one. So what are your thoughts on this? Hello, Vedandra. You'll be very happy. There is a video uploading that you'll be liking soon. I don't know. It might be here. This is from The Guardian. I feel like my sister died at the shocking TikTok dance cult. This is written by Adrian Horton on Tuesday, the 28th of May, 2024 at 6:01 p.m. 18:01 Australian Eastern Standard Time. The new Netflix docuseries Dancing with the Devil details a strange story of young dancers enrolled in a mysterious religious organisation with allegations of abuse. So far in all of these articles, we've had them referred to. We've had them referred to by not get it if you cannot work out what it is. Really, what it the it actually be the sour grapes. Said now that Melanie is married, what's that going to do? She's going to make decisions between her mummy and her daddy and her husband. Support her husband rather than her mummy and her daddy. So are we going to be told that Melanie is now off in some cult? Maybe I shouldn't have said that out loud. Oh, being bad again. Oh, dear. Miranda graduated in high. Yes, so they exceptionally competitions and eventually in pursuit of profession. Miranda graduated high school in LA, Melbourne, almost identical. Sharp features, deep tan, little physiques. Found modest work auditioning together, but greater success online. By this point in late 2010s, TikTok was on the rise. Short, peppy dance videos to a front-facing camera with the fastest avenue to a following and thus a living via sponsorships. Oh, really? I'll stay close to my mic then. I'll put it right up. I'll pretend I'm eating it then. Anyway. Miranda and Melanie started an account together as Looking Sisters. By 2020, they had 3 million followers. But in 2021, the sisters suddenly stopped posting new videos together as things fell apart behind the scenes through her James B. Derry. This is where it seems unstuck. Miranda found love. In LA, Miranda and several company called 7M, affiliate Christian Church Chicago. Now it's referred to as an affiliate. Robert Shin always followed Masonic vibe, the pressure to attend. Miranda began acting weird, strangely distancing herself from formerly close family and not associated anyone not associated with 7M. She chopped her hair short, dyed it blonde, and started a new social channel. Posting dance videos that followed a distinct 7M template, punchy, polished, slightly hypnotic, with expensive patios, mansions, Hollywood landmarks. By January 2021, she'd cut off contact with her family entirely, though Miranda was posting frequently to social media. To those who knew her, she wasn't Miranda anymore. I literally feel like my sister died. She's everywhere but nowhere, Miranda explains in the Netflix docuseries Dancing for the Devil. The 3-part series begins in February 2022, when Melanie and her parents, Dean Walking, went public with their concerns. Oh, this was all for the doc. When Melanie and her parents, Dean Walking, went live on Instagram Live, it was Miranda's 25th birthday, and they hadn't spoken to her for over a year. The Wilkins used the word cult to describe 7M and Shin's church and asked the public for help. The internet always primed for a new cult scandal to the cause, especially given 7M's relatively ubiquity. Several dancers had follower counts in the millions. While Miranda and Derek, by then married, insisted publicly they were fine and not in a religious cult, Miranda posed the point. Issue explains 7M dancers' videos for signs of distress. The Wilkins agreed. Logical. So not one. It's looking like that. Dancing with Devil them during and congregants are clear about their past, their deprogrammed decision against Shin. So pay. Sorry, I've just stuffed that. Why do I? We're losing for 5 seconds at a time. Oh, really? Oh, gee whiz. It's annoying me. I might have to go because it's starting to annoy me now. Aggravating me. Oh, really? I can't. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Alright, as I said, let me just try something else. I'll just put this up. Just bear with me for a minute. Okay, I'm back. I'm mute. I've unplugged everything back in. So I'm hoping. So, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. And working. Here we go. I think. All right. So hopefully I've given a good talking to my microphone. My camera's not on though. You'll just have to pretend that I'm here. Okay. Oh, there I am. Okay. So they talk about the fact that people need to process it and assume that they can get a normal life. Real-time footy efforts to expose a cult and hold its leaders accountable. Dance for the Devil recalls the 2020 HBO on the sex cult NXIVM, one of the several series in recent years on cult-like psychological manipulation. Dance for the Devil is knowing participant of the true crime subgenre. Didn't Katie Joy say that it wasn't true crime? Um, there are a lot of deeply compelling cult documentaries out there. That said, we also didn't want to make the same show that audiences have already seen. It's really important to approach it from a different perspective, one that places the victims and the families at the center of it and allows them to tell their stories in their own words in a way that doesn't make it sound doesn't. But it is about the cult leader. I mean, essentially, we've got Wilkins who to not be very happy in life. Shin, who declined to participate in the series, is absent from it. Dancing from the Devil details Shin's alleged emotional, financial, and essay, according to former dancers and Shekinah members, as well as audio of his sermons. The man of God. Technically, we all should be, all Christians aspire to be a man, or, I'm just saying. Solely capable of saving members from hell. Instructors follow. You're correct there, short order. Shin and Nexus are two different things. The Nexus story is totally different and branded people. He instructed followers to die to yourself. Well, we are told to take up Christians are told to take up their cross. So, sever contact from loved ones to humble and save oneself, by the extension them from internal damnation. As I said, Jehovah's Witnesses often have to cut off from family members if anyone that leaves witnesses are disowned. So, as far as I am aware, all of these have been disowned. because the guy from in the watching the other day who'd left, he was still friendly with them all. So that's not cult-like. But anyway, Shin stressed that your thoughts are not your own. They're either from the devil or from God, and must always be reported to a higher-ranking mentor. Those he deemed disappointments were singled out and belittled during worship. He demanded members give most of their money as church tithing, and according to former members, would remove more from their bank accounts for church purposes. Again, I see evidence and proof of that. He long dreamed of Hollywood success and fame, handily provided by. I will state that there is in the Christian church tithing of 10%, and that is taken from the Old Testament, where they gave a tenth of crop, whatever they to God. That's where the 10%. But this series does not dwell on his biography or theorize possible psychological motivations. Of course, you need to know about Robert Shin, says Doneen. You need to know who he is and by the way he works and how he manipulates and controls his members. To be more from the experience of the families. What does it feel like to lose somebody you love in a situation like this? What does it feel like then to escape? These questions are Priscilla Lee's sisters, who found Shin's influence nearly 2 decades before Miranda Wilkin did. Korean immigrants with absent parents, the Lee sisters were poor, lonely, and isolated. Melanie was the first to join Shekinah, which at the time predominantly served fellow Korean immigrants, as a young teenager in 2001. Priscilla was older, the provider, but my sister was my weak spot, she recalls. She joined too. The two lived together in a house with other Shekinah members until the church forced them to separate. Both regular and repeated SA assaults by Shin. Melanie escaped with the help of a high school friend in 2011, unable to bring her sister with her. Priscilla remained isolated and separated from Melanie for another decade. This captures serious attempts to reconnect. The most moving and heartbreaking footage I've seen in a cult documentary, says the writer, as well as Priscilla's journey towards a lawsuit and police report naming Shin. The filmmakers stress that those scenes involving people whose understanding of themselves and their situations changes by the day were the results of months of off-camera conversations and trust building. Filming was done with as small a crew as possible. Doneen, executive producer Jessica Avito, and a sound person. Participants could pull the plug at any point, continuing that a safe space after the camera stopped rolling and creating that open stopped. This isn't just a job. This is people's real lives. It's not about just making a documentary. It's handling how people are navigating some serious and traumatic in the next chapter of their life. The next chapter, former dancers and members hope, will include consequences for Shin, who, as of now, has not been accused of any crimes. As the Rolling Stones reporter remarks notes in the series, it's not illegal to a cult. Priscilla Lee have reported by Shin to the police, but he's not been arrested. Could the show lead to legal recourse? We've seen it before, said Denise. Our job as filmmakers, we're not legislators. See, Katie Joy, they're not legislators. You're not a legislator. But we can put something out that gets lots of people talking and starts a conversation, ignites debate, and hopefully could bring about meaningful change. The series ends without conclusion. 7M continues to produce dance videos, including Miranda and Derek, who remain affiliated, at least at series ends. Miranda Derek posted a new dance video a day, including one of Chicago's that jazz. Her dances are taut, a bit frenetic. Her smile is bright as the mock stage lights. Her caption says, "Who wants?" So that's that one. Then there is this one, how a TikTok dance cult exploited and brainwashed its members. This is the Daily Beast. The Daily Beast is okay. You can't wait for my doc. I wasn't sure if I was gonna watch it though. Oh, well, I need to see what the poll says. The poll says there's been 16 votes, 12% yes, 44%, 19% want me to report back. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I don't know. It's not because I'm not. I just really don't know if I want to watch it because I already know. Have a great night. Short order. I want to know. Oh yeah, you watch it first. I already know that as far as I'm not saying that the part about the Wilkins to me are just a bit of sour grapes in it. That's what all the write-ups have indicated. It's the fact that Miranda went off and did her own thing and Melanie didn't. So it says this is called I would watch it if I had Netflix. So this is from the Daily Beast. How a TikTok it's called exploited and abused its brainwashed members. By the way, TikTok is on the verge of being banned in the US, and Dancing for the Devil won't hold its reputation as a tool utilized by conniving Asian power players. Wow, to manipulate and brainwash young Americans. Whoa. Derek Denine's part series is an eye-opening story about aspiring dancers, social media, and a Korean pastor accused various offences ranging from the waterboarding, and I'll know who's written it, ranging from financial fraud, SA, to coercing adherents to sever all ties with their family and friends. If it features more than a frustrating plot hole, undercuts comprehensiveness. Startling look at ease with which 21st century hucksters line. I cannot be defeated, proclaims Robert Shin in one of the many audio recordings. Now, this was written by Nick Shager, an entertainment critic. The preacher has never met a foe as formidable as Netflix, and Dancing for the Devil takes him to the brutal task for his myriad wrongdoings. Shin is the founder and leader of the Santa Ana-based Shekinah Church, a religious outfit that on display on Denine's docuseries indulges in speaking in tongues, craziness, and promotes generic mumbo-jumbo about heaven and hell, and its leader as the man of God capable of guiding people to the former and away from the latter. Central to Shin's teaching is the idea that the faithful must be completely detached from their loved ones in order to pledge allegiance to the Almighty, and to him, the closer to God, and getting into his orbit means working for peanuts and catering to his every whim. Such notions are straight out of the Cult 101 playbook, and thus the revelation that Shin was flinching most of his followers' earnings is about as surprising as the dawn of each new day. As Farm had a guiding interest in celebrity, going so far as to executive produce tummy-looking to launch entertainment careers for his man Daniel and his daughter Chloe. When that didn't pan out, he shrewdly turned to a group of dancers who were trying to make it big on TikTok. It was here where she made a serious mark. Oops. Did that just shut down on me? It just shut down on me. Oh dear. Here we go. It just didn't like me talking about it. Oh no, Robert Shin doesn't want me to read it. Or is it Netflix? Here's Mark beginning with his recruitment of James B. Derek, a rising star in the scene, served as a de facto recruiter for Shin's church. When Shin saw that this might be a lucrative opportunity to extend his reach into TV and film, He formed a management company called 7M Films and signed a host of additional dancers to eagerly parlay. Oh, gee, it keeps not happy. Oh, it wants me to read. It wants me to unlock the article. Oh, it's behind a paywall. Oh. Anyway, this article talks about the fact that there are lots of questions unanswered in this. I'm just going to let me just do something. I'll stop screen sharing for a moment. Let me unlock this article. As I said, I'll see. I might. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know if I can be bothered really watching it all. It's not really my cup of tea. Like, it's not really my thing. Although I am interested to see. I do want to see what the great journalist in Minnesota has contributed to it. It is going to vindicate her, but it still doesn't explain why she didn't hand over information to and I don't think that having a contractual obligation to Netflix is going to actually cut it, in my opinion. So let's just get this. I think I've unlocked it now. No, I haven't unlocked it. Okay. I know I've got people leaving me. If you leave me now, you'll take away the biggest part of me. Gone crazy. Anyway, this article talks about how we don't know how. Oh yes, I have got it. I've now unlocked it. Here we go. How there are lots of questions left unanswered. But it portrays him to be Elby. Okay, so it says when Shin saw it might be he formed a management company called 7M. So this is the background, the narrative involving whose lives into. So we get in the fact that they were inseparable. They quickly established themselves as a popular detention of James, who was joining them on videos and was becoming romantically involved with Miranda. Well, this initially seemed to everyone, including the siblings' parents, like a positive step. Everything she began to cut herself off from her clan. Considering how close they were, this made no sense, although videos of her reading the Bible and dancing with a scarily robotic smile certainly. Okay, so then they've got the family, including Concrete. That's right, it was Concrete that says he still talks to the people. All whom were seduced by his promises of success, many of which came true, at least in terms of commercial gigs and concert tours and current biblical teachings. The longer they stayed, the longer they realised something was amiss. And in its back half, Janine's docuseries reveals that Shin wasn't simply a crook and a phony, but something more along the line. Since the TikTok dancers were his first mark. And it talks about the 20 years upon artists. Desperate to find a way to rescue their daughter, literally and psychologically, from the cult's clutches, they reached out to other parents, support, including this publication, who the Eye of Melanie Lee, so it tells their story there. In their tormented conversations, Dancing with It for the Devil lays bare the difficulty of coming to terms with having been duped and exploited by the very people you trusted most and revered. If the series portrait of the pain and suffering caused by friends or relatives' indoctrination in the cult, it nonetheless undercuts some of its impact by ignoring key details, such as Shin's origins, where did he come from, when and how and why did he start kind of church. By not fleshing out its tale, Dancing for the Devil the 7M TikTok occasionally comes across as sketchy. Nonetheless, that doesn't wholly diminish its indignant power, thanks to the formidable roster of interviewees who persuasively explicate Shin's sleazy and self-serving modus operandi. It does what the justice system has yet to conclusively do. Out Shin is a dangerous cult leader interested in less salvation than lining his pockets and gratifying his own sexual urges. So it's interesting. Again, being sleazy and self-serving is not necessarily against the law either. So according to the Daily, it is very much, there's other questions that have been not answered, as to, I think, the docuseries could have looked at the claims that they've said about where 7M said you don't have to be part of 7M to be part of the church. If they proved that was incorrect, then that would again make a case stronger. But at the moment, no one's set out to prove that they're connected. So let's have a look here. Melanie Wilkin happily ever after. There's a million reels here too, by the way. Oh, gee whiz. Hi, Mama Kay. I've been having microphone trouble, so I apologise. She said, check out the reviews. Dancing for the Set. Oh, Glamour? Yes, we looked at that one, didn't we? Charlie Ross? Apparently, it's the most intriguing documentary. As I said, every Wilkin family, in my opinion, has not been very complimentary of. Because, as I said, Melanie couldn't hate the fact that her sister got on with her own life, and that's what it seems to be. And then this is the, so she's putting up all the reviews here, see? Why are you using Staying Alive? I hope you liked I hope you looked at my thumbnail. I hope you liked it. I know from being here with her, she will cry sometimes because of how much she misses her family and would say to me not to see them, but Robert is saying it's not a good idea. She tells the documentary. Miranda was upset and did miss them and loved them, but she's been brainwashed. Again, that's what someone said at Miranda's saying. I'd love to get them under oath and see whether they'd say that. Taking bits out of the articles. When other parents are turning up at Robert's home asking to see the child, he told them that they must see their families occasionally and to cut them off undercover without them realising that. All of a sudden, we got a phone call from Miranda saying she'd see us. We were trying to say things to her about what we were hearing about the pastor, and she said talking about this, then she didn't want him anymore. As I said, that happens with a lot of conversations that people don't want to have. That's all you're going to talk about. Melanie adds, I see it from time to time, but I think it's just for show. Why can't they just be grateful that they see it? It's just a video and put it online, and then but she never took a video of the wedding. She only put up photos. See you in court. I mean, it was interesting in the article how they went on about how she cut her hair, she dyed her hair. Now, this is interesting because this is Slovak. It's Slovak. Oh yeah, Robert, we are the opposition, you are the anointed. And it's like a day in Boston. I don't know what him reading a book about religion says. Realization follows. So he's reading a book called, and the chapter says realization follows confession. Oh, the highlighted says you dare to act on the word in the face of sense, knowledge, opposition. So she's saying, yes, we are the opposition. You see, faith doesn't ask for possible things. Faith is demanding the impossible. Prayer is never for the possible, but always a thing that is out of reason. It is God who is at work with us. So yes. So I don't know why she's sharing that, because it's not had nothing to do with Shin. Well, she's saying that is Mama Kay. She's saying the docuseries is vindicating her. She says, "We see you, Robert. Now the public knows these photos are for show. Suddenly, there are no photos of Miranda with her parents or Melanie at the wedding on her page until you read this, and then it gets added." What on earth? She's really gone crazy. This is something about, I can't, I just. So we know there are now we know there is audio clips of Robert's sermons and wild confessions in the series. How much is he going to panic after the premiere of the series? But then I really need to see these. I need to hear the context of it. Dean Wilkin has never removed his posts about Miranda and her involvement in the alleged cult, despite Robert Shin. Hang on, what's that one? Despite Robert Shin trying to force the Wilkins to remove them through their meetings with Miranda. Now, what she hasn't shared is right up the top here. It says, when she's ready, something when she wants to live, you have to accept that. Let Katie Joy go after the knowing she can't come after your daughter. Right? She hasn't shown the full context. Of course she hasn't. And so that's Katie Joy go after the church or the Shins, but make it known she come after your daughter. Oh, hi, Cecilia. Yeah, look, I've unplugged everything and I've plugged it all back in. It's probably the internet. I'm sorry. Some post from Dean Wilkin that says, please find her comments asking her to contact her family. Believe she and others is in serious danger. Like, why would you do that? National was born not a public, non-profit church, tax exempt with a website, no address, no service time, no public services, phone number listed. I mean, I'd be taking it down too if I was having a whole pile of people coming after me. Let me try something else again. Maybe a let's try that again. All right. So yes, I would not. I mean, I can see why you would want to take it down if you had KJ stands going after you, though. Nick Ray knows the story of losing their son to an alleged. It's not just Miranda who has to cut off their family. Yes, it's the Wilkins that Miranda should be wary of, not a man that is accused of alleged sex crimes by 4 women in the upcoming series. Yes, alleged. I don't understand it. Miranda's family say they have no contact with her, but so now she's taking people's comments and embarrassing the people. Okay. Oh yeah, wary. Are you somehow on the side of Robert Shin? Yes, alleged. Remember, anyone can make up anything about anybody, can say anything about anybody. You need to have proof. And the police aren't going to do anything unless there's proof. Modern songs into heavenly worship songs. Just wait until you hear him sing Not Afraid by Eminem in the series. Guess what? The church used to do, in the beginning, they used to use songs that were very popular and change the words to Christian songs. There was a song called Champagne Charlie. Bless his name, he sets me free. They use the same tunes. Not an unusual concept, by the way. There's a Christian version of I'm a Believer too, by the way. It's not unusual. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not defending Robert Shin. I need to see evidence. Miranda still hasn't posted a single photo of parents or sister. So far, it's all James and glued to monitoring and glued to her and James, always glued to and monitoring Miranda Demick. James is out as de facto recruiter. So is she saying that James is always monitoring Miranda? How is that monitoring? I don't know. Some big allegations here. A photo by Katie Joy posted on 27th of a screenshot of two people, makeup text that says posts. Sends me anonymous 7M messages. I don't know what that means. Is that supposed to be an AI picture or something? Oh yeah, look. I thought the documentary. Oh. May help open Miranda's eyes, but she's so brainwashed, it's crazy. I mean, posing for your cult leader at your sister's wedding is a sure sign of being brainwashed. Really? Maybe she's legitimately happy. Which one are you? Hannah, Shirley, Matthew, Isaiah, or Chrissy? Cult apologists all have cat dog IG accounts. Oh dear me. That one day Miranda will free herself from Robert's control over her. I really hope so. My daughter is a dancer, so I've been following this for a few years. So unreal not to see pics. Any information on the dancers that may be leaving? I heard a pack song to a beat. What? Nice. No. Randy's still concerned about him. So she's got really bold. Love their son so much. And I'm glad they decided to participate by sharing this. So I was hoping to hear from them. I thought it might be out to do a deep dive. I'm so lost. You must be new here because this isn't a deep dive. I've been covering this story for 2 years. Is Chloe, Shin, or Daniel for Conrad Shin featured children agreed to participate? Chloe and Daniel are way too close to the fire and criminality. So it would put them in legal jeopardy. They are being sued for their roles in the cult. Criminality. There's being in a cult. Is Miranda and James legally married? As much as I want to answer this, I want to stick to anonymous messages versus answering questions. What? He seems a very sweet, like not very savvy. I've noticed she has to speak to him for him sometimes. He's not savvy. He literally recruited all the dancers into the cult. And that is her. That's all of her. I'm gonna finish up here because my everything's annoying me at the moment. I'm really sorry about my sound again. I've got to get it fixed. I don't know. I'll unplug everything and plug it all back in again. I don't know. I'm just. Um. So, I'm going to end the poll now. We had 17 votes. Will you be watching the doc on Netflix? 12%, 41% said no. 29% said not sure. And 18% said, can you watch it and report back? So now we're going to end it. And 2 years isn't a deep dive. Look, a deep dive to me, if we were talking about 20 years, if we were talking about 20 years, I would say, yeah, we're going to deep dive. So that's all of that's happening at the moment. Yeah, I'm just really not. I'm not really happy with my microphone at the moment, and I think my camera's not. I think my camera's gone back to the old camera. Like, I've got two cameras here, and I think it's the wrong camera that's working at the moment. Oh no, it is the right one. That should be all right. So I'm gonna have to try and work out. Oh, there we go. Gonna have to work out what on earth is going on here, because things are not happening. Yeah. So thank you for joining me. I also had a rough day at work today as well. So, but anyway, I wanted to do that. So I haven't decided yet. If I can get if I'll probably do it. I don't want to pay to watch it. But we'll see. I guess we'll see what people. As far as the Wilkins is concerned, the articles, in my opinion, the reviews, in my opinion, all talk about the fact that the Wilkins went off and did her own thing, and that's where the problems have been. And if Matt be interested to see whether she's in her parents' back pocket all the time, or whether she's going to have a life away from the family, and see what happens. So, the other issue is the whole Katie Joy and Gypsy issue, which I really, again, it's just crazy. She's got herself involved in, she was my friend first type business. So my video that I've got that is uploading is 50% done. Well, I've only got it's a short day tomorrow because it's a sports carnival. And I have only 2 students out of my 8 aren't involved in the sports carnival. So I've rearranged my 2 students to start the day. I have band at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I've got 2 students, and then I'm home. And then I'm recording. I've got recording of 2 podcasts tomorrow. The Olympic podcast, and Thursday I'm recording. Spending the day recording podcasts for the inclusion one. And so they will be done. They'll be uploaded ready to go Thursday. So I'll be editing podcasts. So we're going to have a bank. The plan is to have a whole lot recorded so that it can just be uploaded and released. I will put a post in the community tab with links to the podcasts on Spotify and to YouTube, because I also upload the video of it, so you can actually see what the people like, athletes. So coming up, for example, is and these will only be people that mainly Australians will know. Debbie Flintoff King, who won gold in the Seoul Olympics, and another commentator who called Kathy Freeman's in Sydney 2000 for the ABC. There's we're just securing the Australian rowers. That's exciting. We've got all sorts of athletes now starting to talk to us. We are looking at somebody who represented Australia in the 1964 and 68 Olympic Games. and the inclusion talks one, because that's because the Paralympics. And then we've got some Paralympians doing the inclusion one and talking about how important it is for inclusion. Did you know? Here's something that's really riled me up. Did you know that up until Tokyo, Australian Paralympian for a gold medal, able-bodied athletes in Australia get $10,000 for a gold medal. Every gold they get 10 grand. A Paralympian got nothing. Ali Cole, one of our most successful ever Paralympians, won 16 gold medals in her career. Nothing for it. Now, I'm not saying that they should be paid for gold medals, but I'm just saying that to me, is wrong. And that's what inclusion is all about, and that's what equality is all about. So, we need to make things equal. If you're going to pay people for winning medals, then you've got to pay them for winning medals. It's like the athletes that are representing Australia, the young people representing Australia. They're not Athletics Australia are not going to give them any support. They've got to do all their own fundraising, and I think that's just, you're right, Bo, that is wrong. That's wrong. And that's what we have to change. So I believe that it's not 10,000, like it's not at the same, I believe at Tokyo, it was the first time ever Paralympians were given money for medals. But you think, that just makes the Paralympian stories just so much more special, knowing that they've had to fund most of their own career, and they've had to fund it, and they've had to, and not only have they had to overcome their physical disabilities, and their physical issues, they've had to deal with the red tape of not being equal. And I think that's wrong. So hopefully this Inclusion Talks podcast will start to put some, we'll start to get people talking about it. And look, I don't know what it's like in every other country, but wouldn't it be good if people that represented our country in our sports were just paid fairly and the same, whether you're a Paralympian, whether you're an Olympian, and and that's a and that's just putting gender. That's just putting, and that's not even getting into the whole gender issue. That's just, but yeah, that Olympian 16 gold medals that said she could have had 16 gold medals, $10,000 a medal. How much would that set you up for life after your career? But she said, she's not bitter over it. She just said that she's now in a position, she's retired now, and she's in the position to advocate for the athletes, to say, we need to have equality, we need this. So she's now not doing it for herself, she's doing it for all the future Paralympians. And so, now when I'm in the Paralympic Games, I'm thinking about the Paralympians, I'm thinking that they're even more legendary. So anyway, now I'm going to sleep, and as I said, I'll think about what I'm going to do. But yes, technically I can watch the Netflix documentary and report back to you, but I haven't decided. I might just see what everyone else thinks. But look, if you really want me to do it, if you really want me to watch it, comment and let me know. But other than that, I will catch you next time. As I said, there's a video uploading, and keep an eye out, because Thursday there'll be the new podcasts dropping. As I said, I don't know, it's probably going to be Off King. But and Rick Charlesworth is another coach. So yes, it is. While it is an Australian focus, it's great to hear their stories. I hope you enjoyed the story of Scott McGraw, his son being born with a heart defect and having to make a decision between training for the Olympics Games and being there for his son. And the family and his partner decided he needed to pursue his Olympic dream, and he got back in time to say goodbye to his son when he eventually passed, and then how he dealt with that grief while competing at an elite level. It's a really quite a sad story. And what happens when the coach doesn't like you and you're at the top of your game. Also very interesting. So if you haven't seen it, yeah, check it out. It's on Spotify. Look under Shin Dan's Olympic Journey and you'll find it there. Or there's the Inclusion Talks podcast. They're the two podcasts. I'll put them both in the down below in the comments, and also I think I've got them on the community tabs. But yeah, I'll catch us. Vedandra 52% loaded, so it's looking good. So hopefully by the time you're ready, it's going to be an interesting one, Vedandra, because there's a great big oopsie in it. So yeah, nearly didn't post it. Night pleasant dreams, yes. Just like to have to. I just wake up in the morning and not see all these alerts about a certain journalist going off the rails overnight. So, all right, have a good one. If you do me a favor and hit like and subscribe, that would really help. And yeah, all right. And I am going to actually buy a new cable for my microphone and see whether that works. I'm going to mull over this and see what I can do. I might have to change my configurations again. Anyway, thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for your support.